Hey fellers, how we doing today? As you can see behind me, we got the Chevy in the garage. So if you're a regular viewer of my channel, then you'll have seen my short of my truck hanging off the side of a bridge, and you might ask yourself, how'd you get into this predicament? And to that I say, what a good question. So we were just driving down the road. I was talking to Mrs. Boppa. Her little sister was with us, and we were just poking along, and we were talking away, and then we went left, and then I turned and we kept going left, and we went right through an 8x8 guardrail, wooden, of course, not metal, or you would have never made it through, but 8x8 old pressure treated 8x8, I suppose, right through her, dropped down off a bridge, and there we were. Tie rod snapped. Didn't know that at the time. Had no idea what happened. Wondering how I possibly could have drove right off the road. Very unimpressed. And then it wasn't 2 minutes later, RCMP pulled in, so that was a good time. Anyway, we got away, there was nothing wrong, so that was all good there. And now, what we're left with is one very big mess to clean up. So, take a walk inside. I'll show you what we're into. Yeah, so I've been busy in here. I got home with all the parts that I suspected I needed from looking at it last night without having a light or nothing, and you know, I got home and the GoPro was dead, so I said, you know what, I'll just start it off. Nothing special to take off a tire and the brakes. Well, what ended up actually happened was it took me 1 hour and 25 minutes to get one caliper bracket bolt out. It was really in there. There's this guy right here. She ain't much, as you can tell. But anyway, it ended up taking a whole raft of wrenches, a 2-foot strong bar, almost a whole bottle, brand new. I just put that on before I started, and I'd say I'm down quarter tank or so, and a 14-inch pipe wrench to finally get that loose. So now here I am, but I can really show you what happened. So direct your attention to right here, and this is where you'll notice, oh, there's something missing. Geez, I wonder what's missing. Well, it's probably the whole eye of the tie rod end. And I know it's hard for you guys to tell, but if you look real close, you can see that one side's dark and one side's shiny of that actual bracket. So, what that means is that has been broken for quite some time, or cracked, I suppose, not broken. And it just finally let go. Like, what are the chances that I'd be crossing over an 8-foot bridge and that's where it all goes down? You know, like, how crazy is that? It's just, it dumbfounds me. You drive on 30 kilometers of road to 1 kilometer of bridge if you were on a lot of bridges. You understand what I mean? Like, it's terrible odds. Anyway, but that's just my luck. So, other than that, at first I was like, well, I'll just replace the tie rod then. Nothing major. Then tonight I started poking around a little more after I get home with the parts that I thought I need. And if you look right there, you'll see this is my inner tie rod here. So first of all, I guess I'll start here. She bent right at the threads real bad. So I'm assuming after it broke off, when I hit the guardrail, the tire kind of kicked in and it was, that tie rod was in there. So luckily it didn't break my rim and it just bent the inner tie rod, I think. Never changed an inner tie rod in this. So I'm not sure how the adventure is going to go, but it also pulled it out of the boot. So I'm hoping that there's no major damage in there, but it's hard to say until I get dug into that. But I got to see if I can find one tomorrow. It's going on 7 o'clock here right now, so fortunately it makes it hard to shop for parts at this time of night. So yeah, I found a new knuckle, I guess this is called. I'm used to calling it a spindle because it's 2-wheel drives. Anyway, found a new knuckle. My buddy brought it home for me, and if you want to just come have a look at it, a lot easier to explain. Any of you who know about these trucks, you see there's something wrong here. It's because that's for this side, my passenger side. So that's it's just great. So I'm going up tomorrow and I'm buying the other one from them, and I'm going to keep that one just in case the other side is, you know, the same, because I didn't even know this one was like this, right? So now some investigating has to happen. But yeah, so what I got left to do here, I just got to Took the cotter key out of the lower ball joint already, so I got to get them nuts off, and I got to take this apart. I got to get my axle nut off, unplug my ABS sensor, get that torn apart. And also, while I'm in here doing all this, since I'm going to have to get an alignment now, I'm also going to put in a leveling kit. So that'll be all happening, hopefully in this video, as long as nothing flies sideways on me. So let's see what happens. Hey boys, it's the next night. I don't know. What would you say? 10 o'clock? 10:30, 11, who knows? Hard to say when you're fighting with the old girl. Anyway, got a new sway bar link in. I got the new wheel bearing in. I bought the new knuckle. 2.5 hour trip there and back. Got her done. That's in. New outer tie rod. New inner tie rod. So now I gotta try and do an alignment here, and then I'll put the brake back on and all that, but I gotta go tear the other side apart. And unfortunately, the leveling kit is not going to work for me at this time. I just noticed, I never really looked in here before, but it does have a little bit of a leveling kit down at the bottom. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but right there you can see it says rough country, I guess. And anyway, yeah, so it's an inch at the bottom, so I think that makes 2 inches at the top, if I'm not mistaken, but it's hard to say. So anyway, got to go tear the other side apart and do an alignment now, see what happens. I'll tell you, it's hot and she's dirty. Miserable, but we're getting her done. She'll be back on the road. I got an appointment for an alignment, an actual alignment, tomorrow. But I have to be able to drive my truck 30 kilometers to get there. So that's why I'm going to try and fart around with the tape right now and get her close. So, here we go. Well, boys, she's all done. Just like that. Something around 2 o'clock in the morning. Truck's out of the garage. And the garage is wrote off. So, I got some cleaning to do. I got an alignment in the morning, get that done, come home, change the oil in her, make sure all is well, brakes and all that, everything's good. I'll torque all the tires and everything again, and we should be ready for the next call. It might be a trailer, it might be a Ranger, could be anything. Stay tuned, folks. Oh, doesn't she look good, all washed up? Peekaboo! Got the exhaust fixed. It's not pointing at my rear end anymore. Tires are back straight. Just got done the alignment. All the parts are in. We are back in action. Got the garage all cleaned up. Everything put away. What a mess this stuff is. Jeez, just rode her off in here, but we got her all cleaned up. Got some used parts out in the trailer. We're all done. Chevy's ready to roll. Let's let her roll. This is the last night this girl will sleep in the garage, hopefully. I was planning on fixing it. You know, all the big plans and stuff, but it never worked out, and then I went and had a little mishap with that, so now I got to replenish my bank account. So I got this sold. Buddy's supposed to come tomorrow morning, so at least I'll get a little bit more room back in here. One upside to it. And yeah, so goodbye, Polaris. Hey, fellers. So I was just editing out this video here you just all watched, and I got to thinking about something the squirrel said to me last night while he was up. He was disappointed that I didn't include any like actual working on my vehicle. I just kind of gave you updates as I progressed through, because I figured nobody would want to watch a plumber who doesn't really know too much about mechanic work, just enough that you struggle enough to get through your own stuff and you carry on, right? So I didn't know, so that's when I decided to ask you guys. Would you like to see a little bit of that? Do you want to watch me fight to get a wheel bearing out, and my little tips and tricks of how I go about things, and the certain fluids that I use, you know what I mean, to make stuff slide better? And just like, do you want to see it? I guess I don't know. It's up to you guys, really. If that's something you want to include, we got lots to work on. We're gonna have this whole camper my plan with it, I'm hoping, is I want to save. Oh, actually, I'll just go show you what I want to save and what I want to do away with here. The old pad holds a lot of water, so you got to really take your time right here. But this is the inside of her. She's just a standard old camper, right? You got your table, and that also doubles as a bed. So I want to save at least the cushions in the table for that. I might build new cabinets, but the components of it, I think I want to save just to have. And I'm going to save this stove, fridge, and furnace. And yeah, other than that, I'm thinking I'm going to do away with everything else. I don't think I'm going to keep a sink in here, but I guess you never really know till you know. We might, but yeah, she's a pretty nice old unit, really. The floor's quite soft, especially right by the door there, so you really got to watch out for that. But other than that, I'm planning on taking the frame, separating it from the body after I get everything out of it that I want, that I'm going to reuse. And then I'm planning on building a new frame at a 1x1 metal square tubing, and then I'll put foam in the walls, and I'll do sheet metal on the outside and probably like Mirandy board or something on the inside. Keep it the old camper look. And then I'm going to flip the axle on, so because right now it's on top of the leaf, so I'm going to put it underneath the leaf, so that'll give me a little bit of a lift. And then if I still can't fit 33s, I'm going to do a lift onto the trailer itself so that I can have an off-road camper. And then you can still use it if you wanted to go to a camper park or whatever. You're just not going to have a bathroom. But yeah, I want to have something I can drag through the woods with me. So aside from working on that, I also into some trouble with the old Jeep. She went and turned fussy on me. So basically what's going on, I'm not sure if it's the battery's bad or the alternator. I haven't really looked into it, but I went to get in it to move it and it wouldn't start. So I boosted it, and I had to put my foot to the floor to get it to run, but I got it going. And then once you take the cables off, if you lift your foot and let it idle down, it'll shut off. So either the alternator's only like partly working, and when the RPMs are high, it charges enough to keep it going, or the battery's just cooked, or I'm not sure. So I gotta do some swapping around. But yeah, let me know down below. Would you like to see me working on stuff, or do you just want me to tell you what I'm up to? It's up to you guys. I don't mind either which way. I'm still learning, right? So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, maybe comment down below your thoughts, maybe something that you think I should work on, something that would keep you interested longer. I'd love to know. So thank you for watching.